Oh, let's see, is it afternoon? Oh gosh, it is afternoon. Hi friends, hello. I'm Tammy Neff, and you are in my store called Tammy Loves. And everything in the store is things that I have picked and things that I love. We started out to complement our painting business in selling home decor, and over the years, we've been here 6 years. Over the years, we have added in jewelry, purses, scarves, clothing, things that I never really intended on adding. They just kind of I don't know, the salesman came at the right time, I guess, and just kind of diversified the store a little bit and maybe made it a little more fun for people that weren't really shopping for their house. I don't know, we just did it. I don't know why. I don't know why, but we have a lot of clothing. So I have, in not really knowing how to buy and, quantities and all of that stuff, I have a ton of clothing. So we have been putting the clothing at 50% off. Hi, Sherry. And just to move some out, I need to get rid of a couple of racks. I am thinking very seriously about turning the store more into a studio craft space where I can work with you guys more one-on-one. I love doing all of the painting furniture, and I'm doing it, in people's homes, or they're bringing it to my house. I've got to be home by 3 today. I got a lady bringing 3 pieces of furniture, and you guys really don't even know that I do that so much. We're very, hi Donna, we're very diversified for sure. We almost do too many things, so it's hard to zoom in on one thing, and I'm sure as a follower for you guys, it's quite confusing as to what all we do, but to hear my story and how it all evolved, it really does fit and it really does work. It just seems like a lot. When I sit back and really think about it, it is a lot. But the store, we have really, really emptied it out. I'm very excited of where it's going and how you can move around in here now. I'm not sure you can tell, on the camera, it's kind of hard to tell, but I just wanted to show you guys some of the really cool, it's kind of dark back here, just kind of wanted to show you guys some of the things and my thinking and why some of the things are here. I'm very crafty. That's a personal, when I'm home and I'm not working, I like to craft and make things. And I also love antique shopping, and I was going with my friend Julie years and years ago, before really the vintage markets and things even were happening. We were just antique shopping, and I've told you this before, she's drugged me to antique stores, and I'd be like standing there like, hurry up, I hate this. So who wants this old stuff, and it stinks in here, and wow, and she'd be so excited, lit up antiquing. And so she was brought up that way with her mom and dad, and so I just kind of followed along as her little friend and have learned, and then I caught the bug, and so now I do most of my crafting with the vintage things. So the store has, I guess the people that shopped here originally were used to a lot of antique things and things that I put in people's homes. So I'm jumping all over the place. I've put off doing videos because there's so much I want to say. So I'm sorry if I'm like squirrel, whatever. I just try and follow along if you're curious or interested. But I want to show you, I've started my little craft club. And so I guess I want to show you the things that I have here at the store to work with, and that I have collected and brought in for myself to work with, for people that would come in and be like, how did you make those lampshades? How did you make those bottles? How did you make those belt buckles? How do you do this or that? And so I want to show you some of the things that we have here. Like, of course, we have picture frames, and then I'm seeing belts and clothing and all of that. And then I see flower arrangements and there's tons of old books. But something for crafting is down here. I have silver trays all over the place in the store. Here's the thing. When someone comes into my store, they'll say, oh, it says vintage, whatever. And a lot of people will be like, oh, it's way too antique-y for me. But you get an antique person come in and they're like, well, you don't really have any antiques. I'm kind of I'm a little touch of everything here and there. So I'm not an antique store. I feel like I'm more like a vintage market. Like when you go to the trade shows and stuff like that, really, I could have a big tent over top of this building. Of course, I have lampshades all handmade hanging all over the ceiling, so I already have that look started. And then I have like linens, these all different textured linens. I have tons of them, but I have things like this that I've picked up like for draping, and I use them at clients' houses folded over the corners of their beds for texture. They're not in perfect shape. They're always handmade, but they're not any huge holes. You might find a little spot. Now, this is a tablecloth. We've used this for so many things, and I didn't have it for sale, but now I've brought it in and putting it for sale for $45. It's an oval tablecloth, handmade, and it's all, vintage stuff. So I have a lot of that kind of stuff. And of course, when I first started getting some of that stuff, I was picturing the tent at shows and then draping that and like tying it and hanging it all down the sides and having all the different texture-y things. So I started buying a lot of that sort of stuff. Now I've sold some of it because I didn't do a lot of shows. My husband he's not, crazy about going on weekends and all that stuff. So, not blaming him. I'm just saying it's just never what I thought I was going to do with it. Didn't really happen to be what I ended up doing with it. So another thing that I've bought, I love doing paper flowers and doing like Mod Podging old book pages and stuff. But another thing that I love is anything that's got like handwriting, like old handwriting. And like this is a journal filled with old handwriting, and how awesome, like on the top of a dresser or something like that, just ripped up pages, and there's so many. Okay, so that's just one book. And then here's another book. This one was, I think, let me see. Oh, I love this book. This was an awesome book. It's a farmer's record book, and it's got cash accounting in here, and then it's like all this guy's, like how much he's paid for everything along the way, his wheat, his workers, his wheat flour, there's hogs, like he's written in all kinds of things. Bless his heart, he was really, or his wife, who knows, records amount of that others owe me, like just these ledgers, and they're all that yellowed out paper, and they're just beautiful. And then when you get into the when you get into the back of this book, it starts talking, it's got like all of these pages about raising stock and feeding and cornmeal and common diseases of the animals and oats and grains and all this stuff. And there's measures. Let me see here. Look at all these number charts and lumber tables and logs required to inch board measures. Look at all this stuff. Like this is just, I just see this as like a crafting wow. Like for the background of a project, if you're doing paper flowers and you mount it, you just have to think, you guys have to just get really creative with your thinking. There's actually two. Actually, I didn't realize that. I have two of these. Let me see what the other one is. Oh no, this is a kitchen one. Yes, this is recipes. Now look at this. Yeah, it looks the same on the outside, but this is look at this old alphabet edge. Can you see that? I think that's so cool. But anyway, this lady, this was her cookbook, and let's see, she's talking about pickles, southern spicy gingerbread, quick gingerbread. Like she wrote her recipes on these great big pages. But there's just page after page of her old handwriting on these old yellowed out pages. There's Mrs. Hershey's drop cakes. There's just recipes after recipes. Now here's blank pages, then back to recipes. There was cookies, there's rhubarb pie, cucumber salad, like all of these recipes. And then she cut out and pasted things out of the newspaper. I just see possibilities like crazy, like possibilities. Okay, so all of these books are here for sale. Here's another journal with more handwriting. So again, well, no, this one's got a lot of empty, but there's your handwriting. What does that say? Email list. That says email list. It does say email list. Look how old that looks. These are, yeah, these are old. These aren't even old. Let me see what this says. But it looks, yeah, 1940. Somebody's gotten a hold of this and used it, because here it says 1940. And it's really like aged looking. So I don't know. Somebody added email list in here. Isn't that funny? I never really looked at it before. Here's 31 East North Main Street. I'll have to look and see if I recognize any of these people, but there's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of emails in here. There's long distance call log. But yeah, so this one's just a little tiny one. Let's see, what's this one? Postmaster's account and record book. Again, just really cool receipts. Like, you guys see why whoops, oh boy. I just think these things are so unique. They're just so cool looking. And I think you could do a lot of fun crafting. I'm going to throw that down there so I can put that all back together. I have 3 of those. We've sold a few of these lately. Here's about money orders. Oh, look at this writing. Look at this writing. Can you imagine what that would look like in a craft? It's so cool. It's just so cool. So again, these are the types of things that we use. This is just page after page after page of the same thing. Look at that. It's just awesome. That's an awesome one for sure. And this one is another one on money orders. Look how old. Look how old the pages are. So, the books are, let me see here. That's a good question. There we are. 14 to 22. But think of all of the, if you were doing paper flowers, think of all the paper flowers you could get out of that. And you know, I've bought a lot of these books over the years to do that very thing. And then when it comes time to tear it or cut them, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can. So a lot of times what I end up doing is doing this. I leave them lay open on a table. You could put them on a silver tray. Leave it like layering like this. Okay, on your coffee table, and then you would put things on it, like, let me show you. Here's a little, like a little flower arrangement, and then, oops, got some moss hanging, and then maybe a little bird, and maybe a book, maybe like a pretty book. Let me see, I've got pretty books. But this is what I really wanted to do with you guys, is have a table and walk around and pull different vignettes that I could make for you guys to show you how to use this store to decorate in your home. But, you know, I don't have a blank tabletop that's that easy. But I would say we need like, we need like a candlestick or something tall. Let me see here what else I can find. Whoops, I need to glue him back. It's hard to glue a bird to moss. Hang on, hang on a minute. Let me see if I can find something tall here. Well, I don't really like that, just plain, but no, I don't like that. Let's see. And this color's not right. Hang on a minute. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Color's not right, but I'm just trying to color. I don't love the color, but here. Here, this might be better, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold this and have it not all fall over the place. This is like not exactly how I was planning on this to go. Told you I didn't know how this was going to go for sure. All right, so let's put this back up. So I'm coming to your house. I'm going to throw together a little coffee table vignette for you guys, okay? And so I would do maybe a candlestick kind of like that. Okay, something like that. I can't do it. I can't do it. But hopefully you get the idea. Putting this is a fail. This is a total fail. But hopefully you guys get the idea. So, so I'm picturing that. so you can craft with them, you can decorate with them. That's the idea of the books, okay? Thank you, Dee Dee, thank you. So, okay, and if you look around my store, like here's a book to raise a lamp. Here's some old torn up books to raise a little flower arrangement. I'll get around. Oh, I've got more. Come here, come here, come here. Oh, like, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I gotta show you something else. While we're talking about old books and papers, I have these bundles of sheet music that are just, like if you took a ribbon and wrapped a ribbon, and I did some skeleton keys on the one at my house and just use that or even just take off the ribbon and just lay the old books or open them up. It's got so many possibilities. And the paper flowers you can make out of a stack of books like this is like tons and tons and tons. Oh yeah, I found these old pages. These are really cool. These are receipts. I found these at the Country Living Fair. This lady had an awesome booth. I use these a lot in people's homes in my decorating, just to tuck, this goes over here, just to tuck in. Like again, you could have that silver tray and just instead of laying open the book that you didn't have the guts to cut up, you could lay the paper down, and it's just a lot of receipts. This one is, let me see, from 1890. And it's a whole bunch of receipts. All of the handwriting is there. This one's 1891. Oh, it's backwards for you guys. Oh, I didn't think about that. Everything I've been showing you is backwards. But just, I'm really just looking at the textures and the layers and the dates and the handwriting and the colors. I mean, that one's simple but cool looking. And these are just single separate pages that are pretty thick, actually. But this is just like a heavy page, and I don't know, like they all unfold. So they've got, like, this one says James N. Long, January 1894, from Philadelphia. And it just, oh my gosh, I just get so excited. I think the possibilities for this kind of stuff is endless. And I know we're in a really little town with college kids, you know, and I think that a lot of them like this, but they don't know what to do with it, or they don't have the money. And then the ladies come in and they're like, you know, what to do. That's kind of why I added the clothing, because I'm like, okay, I get it. And when people hire me to come into their house, they might have come in here to talk to me and, you know, shopped around a little bit and left. They're probably thinking, oh my God, why did I just hire her? I don't know what's going to happen. And I come in with like the coolest stuff, and they're like, where did you get this? I'm like, at my store. They're like, I never saw that. This happens so much. And they'll say, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Like here, this is a little bowl full of test tubes. Like I have these really cool test tubes. I added a little button and ribbon to that. And they're just a bunch of little test tubes. But how cool to lay, you know, in something. So that's cool. I knew I was going to jump all over the place. Another thing that I have is rolls of piano music. Old player piano music. Like, let me show you just one. A lot of times the front cover like this is not pretty like this, but this would make such a pretty table runner. Okay, do you see that? And so you could even leave the scroll and then hang this down off of the edge, and just I think beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's probably 18 of them over there, all different, wonderful to craft with, very brittle. When we first opened the store, my friend Julie helped me, and we did all this draping thing, and like for backdrops, you guys, if you do any like craft shows or anything like that, we go to Lowe's and get that real thick foam insulation that you would put in, like, I suppose maybe like double wides or something like that. I don't really know, but it's real thick, pink, so it's lightweight. And then we hot glued and the reel, like this one even has the words to the songs on the side. And then you would attach this at the top, and then we would just like do this in hot glue and then do it again in hot glue, and then we'd go get another one and run it this way. And it was just the most cool. You probably could get one roll and do a lot with it, but you wouldn't get your beginning, and you wouldn't get any more scrolls. You just have your one scroll. But you could do so much in a kid's bedroom, behind their bed, draping all this stuff, like a vintage, like if you really had a vintage guest bedroom. A lot of times the girls are into this vintagey thing. That's why I thought not a little kid's bedroom when I say. I'm thinking more like teenager that's kind of likes this shabby whatever. None of their friends gonna have anything like that, I can tell you that. And like I have let me show you this. I have this paper flower wreath that I made that's for sale here that would lay great on top of that rolled piano music. And then there's one brown paper flower here that's for sale that we have already done, or I can show you guys how to do them too. A lot of the candles, like I'm just back here, it's kind of dark, but let me just show you. Like these awesome apothecary jar looking candles for your bookcases. Oh, they're so cool. And they're flavors, chamomile and fig, tamarind and orange, amber and smoke, like really cool names. Geranium and basil, rosemary and thyme. Let me see. I already said that one. What's this one? Yeah, I think that's it. Geranium, basil. Yeah. So we have those. We have, like, I have this old scale. It's not old. This is new, but it looks like an old scale, but it's actually a clock, and we put a little arrangement on the top so that it wasn't just sitting plain. We have that here. We have like these domed, I have had some done up, but we didn't do this one up yet. But the domed, I can't think of what you call them now. I can't think of what you call them. But oh, and this is really hidden. It's really hidden, but I think it's one of my favorite. Actually, I got a text today. Someone's wanting me to, she said, a major overhaul in her kitchen, living room, dining area. So I might be saving this. Well, I'm not going to save it. If somebody comes in and wants it, they can have it. I can get her something else. But this container is amazing. Like, I think that is amazing. It's all metal. So we've got things in it for the store right now. It's not done how I would do it for someone's home. But you can see how, I mean, you can't see how I have it tucked in, but you can just see from all the stuff I took out of it. No one could find that, you know? You have to really, this is one of those stores, when I'm here, I tell people you have to go around like 4 times to see it all. Your paper books, old writing. I'll read that later, Dee Dee. I'm gonna keep going because I'll get sidetracked. So anyway, all right, so let me keep going here. Oh, here's something else cool. I have these really cool old irons. I was at the dry cleaners the other day picking up my dry cleaning, and I noticed they had these collection of old irons, which I thought was really cool for a dry cleaner. But so we have irons, we have old irons. How awesome to set like on the edge of one of your books just for interest. And they're all different. There's this one, and I don't know where my favorite one is. I have a favorite one. They've hidden it. Oh, here it is. I see it. Here's this one. I love this. And they had this one in there. I don't know if it's anything special, but it's this, and it's like a plate like that. I don't know. I think that's cool. It's super heavy. I wouldn't want to ship it to anybody, but I think that's an interesting, I think that's an interesting thing. You know, the bottles that we do up, this was actually a napkin ring. We put a doorknob on top, this handmade lace, and then we added old brooches to it. And then I copied some postcards and stuck it on there. I have all kinds of bottles in all sorts of sizes. Let me see. So that's about all there. Let me bring you over here. You guys know I've been sick for like, I don't even know how many weeks. It's ridiculous. If I'm going to start coughing, I'll jump off. I'm not going to make you guys listen to me hack. Okay, let me see, let me tip you up here a little bit. I'm going to show you this fireplace mantle. We'll start at the top. We'll start at the top because it's awesome. So I have two of these. These are old shutters that are like foldable, collapsible. And I added a bunch of burlap flowers to them. But if I were doing a vignette like on top of a chest of drawers, or on top of a armoire, or on top of a hutch in your kitchen, something like that for height would be really awesome. And the texture of the flowers, they're just neutral. And you would put like a vase, like if I put this vase in front of that, can you see that? It would just be really, really awesome. So I don't know. I just but no one would really think of that when you're just shopping at the shop. Inside of these two big, they're like, what it is like a collection case. I had a customer that had old ribbons from horse shows, and so I put those in there. But really, there's one hook in the middle, and we've done 3 or 4 of those up for people, like to make them look pretty and showcase things. But I thought they were neat with the horse ribbons in there. So that's what that is. And then again, old books. There's a candlestick that I could have used. And my little bird's facing the wrong way. I don't know who did that. Turn around here, fella. Say hello to everybody. And then I have this one and this one, which would be awesome for a fireplace hearth. I have a large and a small, so those could sit together. Let me see. Okay, so let me drop you down here. Let me drop you down here and bring you in a little bit so maybe you can see. There you go. So then I think I only have these 3 left, but I have these awesome birch, they're actually votives, but I love them. I have 1 tall and 2 shorts, so really we could do on a silver tray, the mix of the wood with the metal, beautiful. Maybe a little doily hanging off of the edge, beautiful. There's a black candlestick back there. I've got some great books in here, like really great books. Really great books. I've got some nice books strewn about. A lot of books I have just at my house. When I do a job, I just gather some and see if I need them. It's kind of something I just automatically throw in my decorating arsenal, you could say. I have greenery and like I see these keys hanging here, but how awesome. Just this little old set of keys hanging is really cool. Oil cans. You just never know what you can mix in with your decor. And it's all real. It's all not, some of the bigger stores have a lot of reproduction things. This is all kind of real. Well, not kind of. It is all real stuff. So that makes it really cool. I'm going to get this cabinet. I just brought it in talking about doing shows. See this cabinet right here? It's got hooks for your purse back there. It's like an old knob. And then these drawers are fake. But when you turn this around, it's like a cash register stand for a show, and it's on casters. So you can put your bags and your tissue and all of that stuff in here. So I brought that in to sell. Since I haven't been doing shows, I really don't need a checkout stand. So, all right, let me see here. What else? Oh gosh, there's just so much. There's just, I know I keep saying there's so much, but there really is a lot. So talking about the paper flowers, I brought these in. I've got 3 left. These big paper flower boards that I made would look really cool in that kid's bedroom hanging on the wall with the piano scrolly things behind it. Very cool. I have, looks like I have 1 burlap coffee bag left that, the crafting you could do. Look at the black letters on it. Or we've been known to just drape it over a table and kind of let just the edge, kind of just let it show underneath your decor. It's just a different way of decorating so that when people come to your house, it's interesting and it's different. And I think that's what helps me, but that's what hurts me too, because it is different and people don't really know what to do with it. They come in and they like it, but they don't know how to incorporate it into their house. And it could so easily be done. And the lady that I just finished, we've been at her house for like, well, 3 weeks. I thought it was going to take us 2. And it took us an extra week just because there was just so much, and I had been sick and Doug was sick. You know, Jessica had babysitter issues, so it was like we were short people, so it took us a little longer to do the job. But she said she was very minimalist. She didn't like a lot of stuff. She said my mom had treasures and stuff everywhere, and she says I'm just simple, you know, I just don't want stuff. But I didn't, you know, it was very, I went back today actually to get the check, and I had to touch up in a closet that it was my fault. I did first coat, and then I pulled the tape in a couple of spots, and they needed a second hit, and then my people missed it because I didn't go back. I was too sick. So anyway, I went back and fixed that. That was my fault. There, speaking of, there's another awesome, see when I say how this stuff just drapes and hangs so pretty, and it's just thrown on the corner of our window display, but it's really cool. It's a tablecloth. Let me see what else. I'm jumping. When I'm here, I'm just like, I love everything here. I just do. And tons of our old bottles. I have bottles. I've put some in a bag to take home to tweak. Maybe I'll do that with you guys watching. I won't do that in the craft club. You guys know I dropped my craft club price down to $15 a month. It was $27, and I felt like that was a little bit much, but I knew I was bringing good content and really cool things. But you know, that's a lot. There's so many monthly fees. So just in thinking and in me joining other people's things, I felt like I just didn't want to spend that much. And I didn't want people that wanted to be in my group or to see what all we'd been making to miss out because my price was too much. So I'd rather have, you know, 20 people at a lesser price than 5 people at a higher price. How kind of equaled out the same. And for so many years I've been crafting on here for nothing, but there comes a point after all of these years where I have so much, and so to go out and buy more or to make more, it's like, what am I going to do with it? You know, I don't really need it. So I've been kind of putting that craft hat back on and really missing doing things with all of my treasures. And so that's when I started the craft club, and I thought that would push me to make things again. And I'm really working on emptying out the center of this. I know you guys can't get a feel for what this shop feels like. Oh, there's all my papers I dropped. You can see them. But this cabinet is sold to my friend Sherry. So when she picks that up, then I just have, well, I have this. This was an old Ralph Lauren mannequin, and I love the bottom of it. See, can you tell? Yeah, they are with the casters and wheels, and it's got Ralph Lauren polo stamped on the back, but I think I'm going to paint it or do some Mod Podge or something. I'm going to do something with it because that gray, I don't know. I just want to make it more neutral. So, which gray is neutral, I know that, but brighter, that's what I mean, not so dark. So I'm going to be painting that, and then, or doing something with it. And then I have this, let me show you, see if I can show you guys this. I don't know, but I need to move this, and it is such a cool piece, but it's a metal coffee table. Can you see that? The metal coffee table. It's got green drawers, but they can easily be sprayed, easily, to be any color you wanted. And I had a lady from out of town come in. There's 6 drawers, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. It's 2 foot deep. And then it's got the metal wheels. Yeah, you can see. You can see the metal wheels. It's very cool, very industrial looking. But she had like a kids not craft, but like a kindergarten sort of daycare-ish thing. How do I raise this back up? And she was thinking about coming back, but she lived like 2 hours away. But she was thinking about getting that for her kids to craft on, and then put all of the supplies in the drawers for like, so for a playroom. I had never thought about it like that. I always thought it was, oh, Sherry, yeah, you can come in anytime. But I always thought it was like a coffee table, because I think it's such a cool coffee table. But, and I just hadn't found the house to put it in. When I bought it, you know, industrial was like all the thing, but I don't know that it is around here, unfortunately, because I think it's kind of cool. But anyway, so yeah, so I have that coffee table. So once I get, Sherry's going to pick up her cabinet sometime, no hurry, and then I take the coffee table and I'll have to push it against the wall. But what'll happen is then I'll free up all of this open area right here up against our counter, which I have a mess now because we were messing around here, you guys and I. But so I don't know if you can tell. I just don't feel like I can. Okay, here. Let me come this way and let's show it this way. Oops, sorry. Okay, so you're standing at my counter right here, and you're looking out. There's the fireplace we were just at, and then the front door is right there. So what I was hoping to do is empty out this center right here, and then put work tables, and we can get back to work. We can get to work here. I used to have a place, Sunrise Center was about 20 minutes away, and we could fit 21 ladies in, and or 20 some ladies, and we crafted and did things all the time, and it was so much fun, and I miss that. I miss connecting with people and showing them all of these things. I was doing a paint inventory this morning. We have so much paint and beautiful colors, and I don't do anything with it, and so it's shame on me. But I'm doing, you know, I'm painting people's houses, and you know, we do weddings, and I'm doing some real estate things tomorrow, and you know, I have other things, but my heart is in this, the antiquing and the creating and all of that. So, you know, the painting is the job. We're really good at it. We've done it a lot of years. We better be. We better know what the heck we're doing after 24 years. And a lot of us have been together for a long, like 20 years. I know Dawn and Natalie have been with me since the beginning. I remember when her son, Greg, went to kindergarten, Dawn's son, and she came over with her husband to deliver stone. I've told you this story, I'm sure. And she was like, what am I going to do? And she ended up painting with me, and she's still with me, and he's married now and has a baby. So we've been doing this a very long time. Natalie, she's a grandma too. I met her when our kids were in school at kindergarten. So yeah, we've been together a long time. Doug's only been maybe 3 years, something like that, probably 3 years. He makes all of my, you know, wood things like that jewelry hanger and that the display, the counter for shows. That's if you know anybody that does any craft shows that needs like a checkout counter, table on wheels to work with, that's an awesome one. It's $75. I had $145 on it, and I marked it down to $75, and I think that's what he charged me to do it, maybe $85. But it's really perfect. All of the shelves and stuff in the back are perfect for the bags and the tags and the tissue and all that. And then the hook for your purses was just an extra little thing for me because I needed to get it, you know, a way where someone could just grab it easy. But anyway, see how I do. But so in inventorying all of my paint and assessing what colors I'm going to need before we start these classes up and start this painting thing, because I think what's going to happen is people will want to, you know, have us paint stuff for them. So I need to make sure that I have enough of everything. But when I look at my wall here, like there's a lot. It's all the way up and down. So, and then you can see my paint back here. Like, I really do have paint, and I really do paint. And not just houses, you know. I've done Sherwin-Williams things with you guys before, and, you know, talked to Andrew, the manager, and we went through and showed you all of the brushes and rollers that we used and why and all that. That's in our video archive. But, so what I was getting at, though, here is we have all of the plasters. So when you want to do a raised stencil where you can feel the stencil, let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. Like, oh yeah, you can. I'll just take this picture off the wall. But so like, where are we? Here we are. Hang on a minute. Let me raise you up here. I might have to just pick it up, but I'm just gonna pick it up and show you. So up here, see these stencils on the wall? Can you tell? I'm not sure you can tell, but they're all raised. So what that means is I used, whoops, I hit a lampshade. I used a really thick product. Whoops, I used a really thick product. I put my stencil down and then I smeared this stuff on it. And when you pull the stencil off, it's raised and you can feel it. So Country Chic is the brand that I carry here at the store, and their plasters are in colors. So what that means, they have like a honey, they have, I forget what they call them, praline, roasted chestnut, but they have different colors because like this cabinet, if I wanted to put an applique on this cabinet door, I could put a stencil on the front of this cabinet door and it would look molded in. Like they make it to match the different woods, but it's also paintable, so it doesn't really matter what color you're getting if you're going to paint it. But I have several cans of that because I love that. We use that all the time. But it's also nice texture, like when, you know, taking an art thing with my friend Kelly, I've in her group, Girl Upcycled Studio, what does she call it? Gosh, I don't know, but if you're interested in getting in, let me know. But so she's teaching us how to do, I'm in it for the flowers, but she does intuitive art. And so I ordered today a whole bunch of palette knives to just play around with. I do so many, as you've seen me taking you around the store, maybe so many textures. And in all the faux finish days when we used to do that at people's homes, we don't do a whole lot of that anymore, a little bit, but not like we did. We built our careers on faux finishing and making things look like something that they're not. You know, you make, like this was a paneling wall, and we made it look like old bricks. And we've done, like this wall was really cool with all of the writing. We did stenciling and layers and layers. Of course, there's old nail holes now from me displaying things, but just very pretty. And then I stuck some burlap flowers on just for some texture. Here's some stripes. But you know, we can do all of that on canvas and it would make a really great backdrop to whatever it is you're painting. So if I can master flowers or whatever, I think it would be really cool. So kind of want to just play with what I have. Like I have so much just sitting here calling my name and I can't get here. So I feel like by emptying out the front of that area and putting work tables in, we can do make and takes. People can just make something while they're here. Here's what I'm thinking. Come in and craft with me. What do you want to make? Or whatever. But I've got to sell down some stuff because I now can see the light for having room for my work, but I need room. I need to clear out like an area so that I can have my supplies here. So as you know, probably those of you that follow me, they're all in my dining room at home, and it's kind of bothering me. I've enjoyed having it there so that I can pop in and sit down whenever I'm home and feel like it, but at the same time, I don't like what it looks like. I don't like it. And we're talking about maybe putting the house on the market and downsizing a little bit. And so I know that I'm going to have to pack it up, and I can't have it packed. I need to work with it. So I'm thinking about bringing it in here. So if you need any clothing at 50% off, we have such cute stuff. I was thinking about doing a sale, but, you know, like hold up and of all of these things I've been showing you and all of that, but I have to be home to meet a lady that's bringing some furniture. So anyway, but there's glazes, there's waxes, there's white wax and gold wax and pearl wax and antique wax and natural wax. And we have glass glitters, like all colors of glass glitters. And there's, I'm sorry, that was my mother-in-law, but there's texture medium that you can add to your paint to make your paint, you know, thicker. That's what they use to replace the plasters. And when I heard they were getting rid of the plasters, I bought a whole bunch because I wanted I wanted to still have that because I love how it cracks. So if you put it on really thick, it cracks. And I love that. And I just didn't know how this plaster or this texture medium was going to work. But I've got clear coats and primers, and then we have all of the trigger and the belt buckle and the silver bullet, like all of the metallic creams that you can rub on the edges of your furniture. There's brush soap and there's hemp oil, love hemp oil. And then all of the different sizes and types of paints and brushes like crazy. We have short-handled brushes, big and small. We have your thicker, rounded brushes. We've got tons of these, large and small, that really, they put a whole ton of paint on at once. We have the sponges that get into all of the spindles and the hard to reach places. They work really great. So we have some of those. We have the beeswax bars, which they work great if you have an old dresser and when you're opening and closing the drawers and they're sticking and stuff, rub that beeswax bar on the rails. Oh my gosh, and your drawer, it's amazing. And the more you use it, the better it gets. So the beeswax bar works great for that, but it also works like a reverse. Like if you have your piece painted and you don't want to scuff it or wash it back, you can beeswax it, put another coat over it, and your paint won't stick where that wax is. So that's kind of a cool thing. You can do that with Vaseline. You know, there's all kinds of ways to do it, but the beeswax doesn't move on you like the Vaseline would move on you. But then, of course, we have the typical brushes in different sizes. We love these brushes. They're for the chalk-based paints. They wash out like a dream. I don't use these in our painting business because they're made for chalk-based paints, but I wish I could because they clean out so nicely. We have wax brushes, so what that means is when you dip into your can of wax, which we have 3 sizes, from large to small, so there's 3. These are the little, I have big, and then I have the medium also. But when you dig into your, see how it's like that? It's flat. And you get into your wax, it's a paste wax, and then you rub that over your dresser, and then you just buff it with a rag and wipe it off. So that's why they have a special brush, because this brush, you can take a chip brush and like a disposable, here I can show you real quick. This is this is one of our display brushes, but this is a chip brush if you don't like that. And you can cut it real short and you get that dense, hard brush like this, but you don't get that surface. But you know, if you just have a little quick thing you're going to do, you could do that easily with a cheap, you know, dollar chip brush. But if you do it and you're like, dang, I like doing this, go get yourself a good, I'm sorry, I keep getting phone calls. And then that makes me forget where I was. But anyway, oh, and I mentioned hemp oil, but hemp oil is awesome. Love it. As a matter of fact, I just used it to do my charcuterie board. Remember when I showed you guys how to take the wood board and do your nuts and cheeses, or, you know, grapes or whatever, all like the serving boards? You can do it, desserts, you can do anything. But anyway, I felt like it needed oiled again, and so yeah, I hemp oiled it. I did cooking oil once, worked fine. I did olive oil, worked fine, and then now I've done the hemp oil because I heard it doesn't hurt you. So you have to make sure you use an edible, not edible, but a food safe. Excuse me, and it really does sink down in. But oh my gosh, we've got here, like this whole rack here, if you can see that, is all curtains and rugs and panels and table runners and valances. There's a pillow, but that's not half. Like, I hate to show you my back room, but back there, you see that green cabinet? Whoever comes in next has to work on straightening up all of those valances, but there's probably 100 valances back there. So I did that because when we're decorating, I love to put a valance just for texture, a little softness. Sometimes you're covering the hardware from your blinds. And so we made a lot of them. We had them made. I didn't make them, but I had a lady make them and line them and do a really nice job. And so we have lots of valances. So we have all kinds of stuff. So anyway, you guys, I didn't know where this was going when I started, but it was nice to talk to you guys and say hello. And I will look back at the messages. I get to get all the lights turned out and get my car loaded up and pick up these papers, put things away, and I've got to be home here in like 15 minutes. So I better get off of here so I can be there in case the lady shows up with her furniture early. So you guys have a great day. It was fun hanging out with you. I'm so glad I did this. You know, I thought about it all morning while I was here, and I just never pushed that go button. And then, I don't know, sometimes you just have to do it. So I'll do it again. I'll do it again for sure. Maybe we'll do a sale because I need to move some stuff. So I need to move some stuff so I can make room so we can get going in here. I feel like I'm ready. I'm so ready to get to work in here. So I need your help. Spread the word. Come and shop. See ya. Bye. Thank you, guys.